Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the rise of the microbrands.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with
All right, I'm taking a chance. I don't know if I look like a peach, if I'm green, if I'm purple. Anyways, hopefully the camera is working. We had another day of tech glitches. Anyway, forget that. Let's talk about what's going to be happening today. So we have Dayon, co-founder and CEO of Amazon Xperts on, and we're going to talk about how to make a winning Amazon listing in 2021. But before we do that, where are you, Kels?
Hey, how are you doing?
Good, good. Do I look
No
like
fetal
a peach?
position?
Huh?
No, you're good. No,
Yeah,
you're
fetal
good.
position. Fetal
Yeah.
position. Yeah.
All right, welcome,
So, what are
Brad.
we doing? What are
All
we
right,
what
so
are you supposed to be telling people they're supposed to do?
we are smashing those like buttons.
Smash them.
If you're watching from the YouTube channel on the replay, hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell in the corner that lets you know you got all those updates when we go live. And oh, it looks like
what
we got
about
a bunch of people.
what about
Show me.
LinkedIn? Come on, LinkedIn guys.
Yeah, it's weird. That's the one platform where we don't see any action really.
We
But
see very
well,
little over on LinkedIn. Yeah, which is kind of
yeah.
strange.
But welcome Shamir, Dayon, Steven. Thank you. Happy Easter, everyone. And let me see. Oh, well, we have a big contest tomorrow that we're starting. It's actually
Yes.
kind of a combo contest. There's two contests technically, one for the group specifically and one for outside the group. So if you're not yet a part of the Beard Nation, I highly recommend you join. We're giving away some consultation time, me and Norm. So yeah, it's going to be good. We got lots of stuff planned. And we do have a prize today too, so there's lots of fun stuff happening. Welcome, Marcia, Fatiha, Manny. Welcome to the show, everyone. How
All
was your
right.
Easter, everyone? Let us know in the comment sections. We'd love to hear. And which one is better, Cadbury cream eggs or
Norm or
just
Kelsey.
or we can do that one too. But yeah, let us know. Oh, there we go. We got a LinkedIn guy. Eighton.
All right.
Eitan. Very nice. Welcome to the show, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Okay, very good. So, if you have any questions, throw them over in the comment area. We'll get over to you right away. Well, if we don't get to you right away, we will have it in the group. Sit back, relax, grab that cup of coffee, and let's start the show.
Hey, how you doing?
You're probably less stressed than me.
Definitely. I was talking to Kelsey about those late starts to the live episodes and how it can get pretty nerve-wracking. So you're doing better than I'd be doing if I was in your shoes.
Oh, it's so funny because you're just ready to start and the phone dies. The phone drives the camera. So, what the heck? Why? It's so. Anyways, the USB wasn't working, so I had to go and find another one. Anyways, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. All right. So, David, let's talk about you, who you are, what you do, and all that good stuff.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be on the show today.
Oh, look, it's our pleasure. We've been trying to get you on for a while. And
Definitely.
maybe you're going to be our lucky charm and get some of these LinkedIn people listening.
Maybe.
Everybody else, we've got lots of listeners, but we're really trying to establish a bigger presence on LinkedIn. So hopefully, fingers crossed, you're going to be our lucky charm because I already see 2 people.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, my biggest platform is LinkedIn. I'm not as active on any of the other platforms. So we just might be that uptick you're looking for.
The catalyst.
So we'll see.
There we go.
We'll see what we got.
All right. So, David, what do you do? Who are you?
Okay. So I answered that question by saying what I do for business, but I'm going to just start a little bit behind just because, some people like to know more than just what we do with Amazon Xperts. So I'm born and bred in New Jersey, the Jersey Shore, a little beach town over here, Jewish community. And I guess started, Amazon in the Amazon space straight out of high school. Worked for someone for a couple of years, and then I moved into arbitrage. After arbitrage, I moved into consulting, and I worked for two pretty big agencies in New York, which I always say is a great stomping ground, a great place to be. There's a lot of Amazon sellers and a lot of great opportunities. And then a couple of years into consulting, I started Amazon Xperts. We had a couple of things we wanted to do differently than the typical consultant agency. We didn't want to just partner with any Amazon seller. We kind of take that very seriously, and we try to have a very exclusive small list of partnerships. We also have a second model where we just sell services, primarily optimization services, image optimizations, which is the process of taking images with a white background and designing lifestyle and infographic images and size charts and all that great stuff. And then designing EBC templates, enhanced brand content, otherwise known as A+ content. We help people with brand registry. We help people build storefronts, a bunch of just a la carte services that pretty much everyone needs.
Right.
And, like I said, two models. We take the partnerships, which is us coming on board and driving the business. We try to find the right guys for that, the right businesses for that, usually bigger companies and people who have an in-house team, which our team kind of complements. And we're just, living and breathing Amazon all day. And, I like to think that we know a thing or two about how to design the right Amazon page, how to make the right listing. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and happy to answer any questions anybody has. I always love to tell people that you don't need to use an agency to design a nice Amazon page. You can go to Fiverr and give them those 2 to 3 white background images and have a designer shoot back a bunch of images. You might have trouble finding the right guy, but once you do, it's very easy and something that you can do yourself. Obviously, some people like to just offload it and hire agencies for that, but it's something that I like to, always, as much as I can say, you don't need to do that. You can get it done another way. There's tons of different ways that you can design the right page on Amazon. And I guess today let's try to talk a little bit about what you can do and how you can do it. And anything I can do to help. And, like you said, 2021, I love that you added that in there, by the way, because what you could do in 2020 to make a winning Amazon page is very different from today. So right. It's definitely that last piece of 2021. Today, I feel like it's just or forever. It's always changing. Amazon is always adapting, and you have to adapt in order to stay at the top. So that's
it's interesting, and that's why I put that in there, because just on the weekend I was looking for some YouTube videos about different things, and a 2018, a 2017, a 2020, and I'm looking at, and this was an Amazon, by the way, but it's all the same. It wasn't relevant. Now, certain things, certain aspects are relevant, but exactly like, and I'm looking at this and I'm going, oh my gosh, I mean, I just wasted my time listening to this. Now imagine if that was, putting up a listing and you're going against TOS, or you're just not going to get ranked because, you're doing it wrong. You're not setting up the listings properly. So let's go back. Let's talk about step by step. What should you be looking for, first of all, when you start a listing, to even start the optimization process? What do you do?
So, the first thing you need to what we'll bring to the table is very different than what the client will bring to the table. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to start off with the fact that if you don't understand your product, which a lot of sellers know their product very well, somebody who has a passion for their brand and a passion for their product, they're going to bring to the table all the qualities and features. So I think the first thing, ABCs, step one, is you need to know everything that there is to noteworthy about your product, because the first thing to do is to make sure that in the content and the images and the EBC and every possible place that you could put, you want to explain to the customer, to the consumer, why they want to buy this product, why you want to answer their questions, you want to answer why you're better than the competitor. So I think step one is just to understand the qualities, the features of the product you're selling. And then obviously the next thing would be to have a way to make sure that speaks when you're looking at the listing, when you're looking at the product. I always love to mention that Amazon, a lot of shoppers, I don't know the stats of today, but I remember hearing something like 70% of shoppers shop on a mobile phone. And if you shop on a mobile phone, you don't really have the bullet points and the content really. It's down below on the listing, or sometimes you have to open up another page that will redirect you to the bullets and the features. So I always say that the first thing you need to do is make sure the images are done correctly. You want to make sure you have obviously a main image that follows TOS. You want to make sure that you have lifestyle images. You want to make sure you have infographic images. My favorite type of an infographic is like where you have a call out, like where you zoom up. Let's say you have a pant and you have a zipper, and you want to show that it's a easy functionable zipper. You'll zoom up on the zipper. You'll have like a little circle that like showcases, or you have a 5-pocket jean. You want to show that you have 5 pockets. You'll zoom up on the 5 pocket. Any detail, any feature, you want to make sure that the images are explaining what there is. Like I said, noteworthy, why you should buy this product. So, and then, I mean, that's what you're going to try to convey in the images. And then another thing is you can try to answer questions when you're shopping for a product. You're going to have questions. How does it fit? What's my size? You might want to add in, for example, for apparel, a size chart. Amazon size charts are, I think, just not where they need to be. You get more confused when you open up an Amazon, one of those standard Amazon size charts. When you open that up, you're less, you understand less about what your size is. So I feel like you just need to make sure that everything as a consumer, if you put your consumer mind on, your consumer head on, you want to make sure that when the customer is looking at the product, they have all the answers they need. And I think that the cherry on top is that they can establish some sort of brand trust.
Okay, that's a great point. What are some do not do's? Let's look at some mistakes that we might make, when we put up an image. What are the absolute do nots?
Okay, so obviously image 1 is I think the biggest do not. You're going to have to follow the rules on image 1, and I mean I don't necessarily understand why. Like the perfect example is you have something that comes in 10 colors, and you have that seller that shows the 10 different colors on image 1. Now, obviously, I see the value behind that. I see, you want to show the customer. Image 1 is a very big deal. That's the first thing they're going to see for your product, and showing the different colors you have is a great way to explain, hey, we have this in white, but we have this in 10 other colors as well. So that's obviously image 1 has to have a white background. You can't add text. You can't add design to image 1. So I would say the first big no-no is you got to keep image 1 clean. You got to keep image 1, just try to zoom up on the product as much as possible, so the customer can see the item and I guess understand what they're buying. What else is a big no-no? We have to make sure that I mean, me personally, I don't know. This is like my opinion. I'm not sure if everyone else agrees with this, but I think that you have to have a little bit of branding in every single image. So if it's as simple as putting your logo on every single image, I'm sure sellers can relate with the idea of people stealing their images. So I always say you have to make sure to brand your images and make sure that if somebody else wants to take your image, it's not going to just be as simple as stealing it and uploading it. They're going to have to clean it up and take the logo out. I mean, any project that we're going to do, we're going to have some sort of more than the logo. Obviously, if the brand doesn't want to, if they have guidelines and rules that you have to follow, we'll follow them. But we're going to try to put any sort of a theme that we can, even if it's just making a little border, a gold border around every image, or polka dots in the corner, or whatever you can do to say, this is my brand. Obviously, if you have a Pantone color, you'll stick to your Pantone colors of the brand. But the idea really is to try to show that this is us, this is our product, this is our brand, this is our theme, and establishing that brand trust. It's definitely, you don't want to have it, so you don't want to have images that somebody could steal. So I always say, if you're doing an optimization, you're going to want to make sure that every single image is kind of marked with your signature, marked with your theme, marked with your logo. Another thing that I would say is you have to put you have to look at the comments, the questions. You have to put more effort into the product. You have to. It's not something you could just do and forget about it. You have to continuously audit your listing and make sure to answer questions. Change the questions you're answering. If sometimes you have a comment that brings up a still using stock photos. What does that mean? Someone just asked about
I have
stock
a comment
photos.
on stock photos, but
Okay. So, I mean, we do use stock photos. I'm all ears to hear if you guys think that that's not the move, but obviously sometimes you have a brand where, a brand that will take a lifestyle image and, spend the money and have a model. Sometimes you don't. And in my opinion, it's just better to have some lifestyle than no lifestyle.
Yeah.
I definitely, understand why, you can definitely have an image that's a stock photo that looks pretty fake, but I think we do a pretty good job at making it look real. Yeah, I mean, as far as like what not to do, there's a lot of things that fall under the against TOS. I'm not going to go through that whole list right now. It's more, I think I have more to talk about, like what to do. Some people, like I said, with offering all those different colors, I see listings on Amazon that are killing it, that are not following these rules. So I don't know how strict Amazon is and how much they're going to crack down on that. So I mean, me personally, I don't recommend doing it, but we do know people that do that, and just we always give our recommendation and say we don't think you should do this. Or obviously, if you ask me what's better, lifestyle images where you go to a beach and you have a model running with a surfboard and you're trying to sell the bathing suit, or you just take a bathing suit and superimpose it onto that stock image. 100 times to 1, I'm going to tell you, get the model, go to the Bahamas and take that photo shoot. But not every brand is going to do that. Right. So you use what you have. So yeah.
My comment on at least the photo, everything on the listing, is the first thing that you should do if you're not going to a managed service company is download the style guide. Just that simple. Download the style guide and just see what Amazon says is good, what's bad, what's ugly. And they tell you it's about, depending on the style guide for the category, they'll, it's 25, 30 pages, and it'll just go through the do's, the don'ts, and everything in between. And the other part is, it's risk evaluation, right? So, you see shadows in the primary images, you see borders, you see logos, you see packaging, you see, it's just risk evaluation, what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do. All right. One of the other things before we get too far is we have a giveaway today. So what is the giveaway that you are giving away?
We will be giving away one image optimization. So that means that we need about 2 or 3 images on a white background. We don't take the photos, but once you give us those images, we will turn around 7 Amazon ready images that typically consists of that main image, 2 lifestyle images, 2 infographic images, a size chart or some sort of a spec image, and a brand image. The brand image is something that I don't know if I think less people do that. I definitely want to talk a little bit extra about that brand image. Sure. The brand image is really, and I'm not saying that this is the only way to go, but this is something we believe in and something that we do. We always try to have one image, usually the 7th image. And if you have a video, obviously you're not going to have that 7th image. You'll have it in either the 6th slot, maybe one less lifestyle or one less infographic, depending on the product. Every product kind of lends itself to different qualities and different ideas and strategies. But we usually try to have one image which just showcases the brand. Now, that brand image does not necessarily have the product in it. A lot of times, I'll give you an example. You have a company that sells toys. So what we'll use for a brand image is we'll buy a stock image of a toy room, a nice messy toy room, and we'll gray out the stock image. You could clearly see that the image is a toy room, and then we'll pretty much just gray it out and add some text to the image and say this company is committed to making the best toys for your kids. Safety is a number one thing for us, and just use one of the images to explain who you are as a brand and kind of try to establish trust. You have let's just say some of your shoppers are moms, dads, people who are trying to make that relationship and say they're looking for a company. Today there's no Toys R Us. Everyone knows during Q4, Amazon started sending out that toy catalog. Toys are a big thing. Amazon is a big place for toys. So a lot of the consumers are moms, dads, parents who are looking for safe toys that they want those questions answered. They don't just want a fire truck. They want a safe fire truck that's made with the proper materials, that's not harmful to their kids and doesn't have any the company's a friendly company that doesn't contribute to pollution and all that, and that's stuff that you would put in that brand image. You want to try to make that connection and show why they should trust you. There's so many Amazon brands today, but the people who I find are really doing better are the ones that take that extra chance and take that real estate to try to show who we are and try to show why you should trust us and why you should buy from us over the other guy. So that brand image we find is crucial. We're always going to put that in as many times as we can. Another thing I like to say is if you do the enhanced brand content, you have extra real estate to showcase your product. I always say, it's in the name, enhanced brand content. That's a great place to also put brand information, and anything that you put in that 6th or 7th image could likely go down in the enhanced brand content as well. So EBC is something that's maybe a little new. I don't know how many people have brand registry, and I'm not sure what the stats are exactly but I know that it's something that's growing, and I know that it's something that is important. So I think that you just need to take that opportunity to showcase who you are and explain who you are, and like I said, establish that trust with the customer, with the consumer.
Okay, so going back to the giveaway. So it is the 7 images, and if you want to enter, it's hashtag. I think Kelsey did this. I would never have done this to you. I would have said I want, but he says I love David. All right, the hashtag is hashtag I love David. You enter it, and you have a chance to win 7 optimized images. And if you tag 2 people, you'll get an extra entry. Okay, we've talked a bit about images. Let's move on. All right. What about everything else?
Okay, so images, I want to just say will kind of go hand in hand with the A+, the EBC. There's the idea of having consistency. You want to make sure that you're not looking like it's 2 different listings from the images to the EBC. So we'll always have something consistent, but we always try to have something fresh and something unique. And if you're buying stock imagery, it's cheap enough to get an extra image or 2 and keep it a little bit different. You don't want to make the customer think that you're just trying to get away with the minimum, with the bare minimum. You want to show another light. Obviously, if the product doesn't lend itself to more, you might have to keep it consistent. You might have to just repeat and rinse and repeat. But the EBC, I always say, if you can try to keep it, different, that's always a plus. Obviously similar, but different. So consistent, but something different in it. The bullets, the title, the description, all of that is obviously, you can't talk about an Amazon page without discussing that. We definitely, this is, I don't want to say that I'm an expert on as much as I am with image optimization as we are with content optimization. I always find that there's kind of different opinions on, I'll give you one example. I have some clients who insist on the all caps beginning to the bullets. Technically that's against TOS.
Right.
I actually want to turn that back around to you, Norm, because I don't know where I land between that question. I think I suggest not to do it, but if somebody insists on doing it, I'll say, fine, go ahead. I've seen people doing very well with that, but I actually want to ask you, that's something that I'm not even sure of myself. And I always try to get someone else's opinion on that. Obviously, if you can, you want to try to follow the rules as much as possible, but if you had somebody asking you, Norm, should I do that model or even HTML in the description? Those are like 2 very common questions. Technically, I think that's against the terms of service, but so many people do it. I want to kind of throw that back at you. Where do you land on that? Me, I'm kind of in the middle where I honestly, if it was me myself, I would not. But I have enough people doing that I can't say I'm an advocate against it. So I would love to hear your thoughts on that, actually.
Yeah, sure. So if I'm looking at bullets, I am not doing caps, and I don't recommend doing caps. We've mentioned it on the podcast before. A couple of our clients actually suspended, not suppressed. Suspended.
I've never seen that.
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
yeah, it happened. It came in like all in about a 2 week period. I think they've kind of backed off, and it might be a suppression now, but they were actually suspended and couldn't even figure out what it was. We had to figure it out, and it was due to caps. And the other thing is, so lowercase, no emojis, and
Yeah.
usually small to mid-sized bullets. We no longer at all will ever try to produce a long bullet. And again, it comes down to mobile optimization.
So we don't. I mean, 2 years ago, we would have said keyword stuffing is the way to go.
Yep.
We don't do that anymore. So yeah, so the shorter bullets are definitely and with all the rules on they I mean, maybe a year ago they shortened that limit on the bullet count. It's what is it, 50 characters now, or 100 in some cases. It's not very long now. It used to be much long. It used to be 250, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
On the bullets, it was 500, around 500 characters, and you can still squeeze in a pretty long bullet, but we'll try to keep it in around a tweet, so around the 150, 160 characters at max.
Okay, so yeah, so I mean, and then what about HTML in the product description?
Now that's interesting. So depending if you're doing, because we'll still put in a product description if you're doing an A+ page or not, but we'll do just straight like a plain text. If there's no brand registry, then I will do just plain, very simple, the basics, bold, indent, just simple HTML.
Okay.
I'm going to call it relaxed HTML, just very simple.
Okay.
And I'll put that in and see, just to see, because if you don't do it, it just looks horrible. If I get my wrist slapped, fine, I get my wrist slapped, I'll just pull out the HTML code. But I'll still do that, unless you've got A+. If you got A+, you still, like, I'm going to still put in a product description and just have it in plain text.
So I agree. I look at HTML kind of the way I used to look at images. I don't know if you remember, but it used to say images could not have text on it. Doesn't say that anymore, as far as I'm concerned. It used to say, I don't know if it said no lifestyle, but I know text was definitely on there. No text on any images, all of the images. It doesn't say that anymore. And if that's not enough, Amazon themselves puts text on their images. Mm-hmm. So as soon as that happened, any doubt that I ever had about should I be doing this image optimization or not, I made my decision. We're doing it. There's no doubt anymore about that. But I feel like it doesn't make sense for there not to be a rollout, an update which says HTML, like you said, relaxed HTML is allowed, but don't go crazy. And obviously emojis are pointless. I always laugh when I see emojis on a bullet or something. So I feel like because it looks visually better with HTML, it's just something that, again, I mean, if I always have that client that's like very, very strict and he doesn't want to do anything that's even remotely questionable. And for those guys, we'll do without it.
Yep.
And you know what? I've seen success. I wouldn't say that the HTML is crucial to the success. I think that it's a visually nice thing to see, but it's just about how you want your listing to look. And I don't think it's the most crucial thing to have. It's really about preference in the end of the day. And I think that just if I had to choose, again, I always go back. If it was my product, I don't sell anything on Amazon, but if I was selling it on Amazon, I would put HTML, I think. And then you mentioned product description when you have EBC. This is something that I always love to talk about as well. Do you find that you always have the ability to put a product description with EBC templates?
Yeah, with a flat file.
Okay.
So, but it might not show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you know what? This is I have a couple clients that take a look at their listings. It shows A plus, okay, right below it the product description.
So I have that too.
What's up with that?
And we upload to all of them. I don't know how that works. I don't know why some of them work and some of them don't. I tried to like wrap my head around that one. I don't know.
I've been trying to find an answer. Anybody knows, let me know, because it drives me crazy. Why, why on some you can do both and others, you can't.
I mean, just from other things, it has to have something to do with the category. But I don't know which categories are allowed and which are not. So more testing, and hopefully someone will find out. Someone will figure it out. But I think it's important to note that, even if something they release an update and we find out about it, I learn from my customers sometimes. We're not always we don't know everything. I love to say that we're always learning. And that's why you just asked me a question, but I said my humble opinion on it, and I really wanted to hear what you have to say about it, because it's not as simple as just, oh, I said this, I found this worked, because you could, like you said, you could have one category where it works and one category where it doesn't work. I want to actually ask about, there's something that we've been having a lot where, and I want to talk about videos, and I want to talk about brand registry. Have you ever encountered a 5665 code, a 5665 error, which is basically when they prevent you from listing without brand registry, which is something that I'm seeing more and more. And I'm not going to be able to talk too much detail about it. I was just on the phone earlier finding out about what this is, because it happened for the second time now with my second account, where we're trying to launch, and they're just saying that we need to finish the brand registry process before we launch.
So this is your initial, you've gone to add product, you had to get product approval?
Product approval, but specifically through the brand registry process. So it's called 5665. I have to do a little more research on it, but that's what the error code is called. And I think I just found out that there's a way to escalate it within the same day and fix it.
Well, let me know.
I will definitely let you know.
Yeah.
But that's something we're running into now. And then also we have to talk about videos as well, because I think I've heard one or two people say that, like, 2021, and this just goes back to your whole 2021 comment, 2021 is the year of video. And that's actually something we don't do, but we have someone that we work with that makes, I don't want to say product videos. I want to say he makes commercials, because that's what they do. And product video is very, very important. Product ads, video ads are and you talk to anybody in the PPC game and they'll tell you that that's something to keep your eye on. And then you have the whole just putting it on the actual listing, and that trust that I was talking about, and explaining the features and explaining the benefits. I mean, you could do wonders in a picture, and if they say, like, what's that saying? A picture speaks 1,000 words. What does a video do for you then? What is it? 1,000,000? I mean, the video really, really can connect with the consumer like nothing else. Oh, here we go. I did encounter on 5665 for listing my product. Improve my brand by submitting product photos. Yes. So you can submit photos, but that's not necessarily the fix. You have to. So I'm lucky enough to have an account rep, similar to SaaScore. And then you send it to your rep, and then that rep can escalate it. It's not just, if you submit that image, that it can still take days to get it resolved. Every new seller has to go through 5665. It's the new normal. So I've not found that. I found people who are new sellers who have not encountered 5665, which is why I'm saying there's something about that. There's something about, I don't think it's just to all new. I mean, I could be wrong, but I've seen people launch without that error code.
Okay. So just so I get this straight, are you saying this 5665, you're listing a product, and they're saying unless you have brand registry, you can't launch?
You can't ship, correct?
Huh.
And I have not seen that. We're involved in a lot of account launches, so I have not seen that across the whole board.
I've never seen it, and we do launches quite often.
So yeah,
Well,
so
we'll be
I don't
keeping
think
our eye
it's
out for that.
I don't think it's that simple, but maybe it's one of those things where it's going to be spilling over into more. I don't. Truth is, I don't know how that works, but like when they had the whole title limit, I know people who are killing it with longer titles, and then slowly they crack down. I think when you updated your listing, that's when they caught you or something. But yeah, so we're encountering that code and that error code, and it's just another hoop to jump through. Just to your point, that the Amazon game is ever changing and never. I don't think it'll ever stop changing. So, but that's why you need to always be tuning into these valuable podcasts and things to try to keep in tune with everything.
Just a second. You should be saying Lunch with Norm every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Lunch with Norm every Monday, Wednesday. There we go. Okay.
All right. I got a question about not the digital coupon, but the promo coupons. So I've kind of heard through the grapevine about this. I don't know if you've heard anything, but you should only have 3 to 4. I used to stack them up. I used to have all sorts of different types of promos just so it looked like there was a lot of substance there. I've heard now, I don't know. I mean, and this is kind of floating through Amazon. Okay, this is the way that I heard it. But 3 to 4 is the max that you should put up.
I have not heard that. Okay, I have not heard that.
Yeah. So I heard that recently. So I don't know how truthful that is. But anyways, I've cut mine back now to 3 or 4.
Regarding videos,
let's get back to that.
We're testing out. So like I said, I have this company that does commercials, but I've also had the conversation of a commercial is nice and everything, and obviously a commercial is more expensive, is maybe a more expensive way to go. Lifestyle shoot and models and all that. And then there's obviously, my opinion is you have those videos that are not really videos. It's like just an image moving through the screen. I personally don't think that that's what videos are supposed to be. I definitely see people doing well with videos like that. There's the studio video where you're more, not no model, just showcasing the product. There's more of an amateur video where you can video it yourself. Yep. I actually see that works. And I'm not yet able to say, hey, ABC, this is what works, because it's something that we're still kind of paying attention to. But I always love to kind of have that conversation about what's working in the video world. Because I know someone who will tell me commercials are not the way to go. Try to keep it simple. Try to keep it like more to the amateur, just video it yourself, or not so much going on. Just explain the product, kind of like the call out images that we do. Just what are the features? Just get to the point quickly. Explain why you should buy this item, and as little as possible. Try to keep it as short as possible. No, the whole idea is catching the customer's attention span. An image can do that quickly, but a video, if you do a boring intro, you lose him. He'll go and he'll move away. So I think that it's a little bit more critical. You have to be a little bit more critical when it comes to videos. I think that we're gonna, over the next year, 2021, we'll be able to kind of pull out some of the do's and don'ts for videos. Already, I can tell you, obviously, I think there's pluses to the lifestyle, to the whole commercial that we can shoot. I think there's at least one no-no right now, one thing that you should not do, which is just have those videos that are not really videos. It's just like the images just moving through the screen, and it just really looks not professional. It doesn't look like, it's almost like if I saw that video, I'd be like, ooh, I don't know if this is a seller I want to buy from. Me personally. Yeah. So, I think that there's a few things, but I don't think anybody really established those rules or do's and don'ts for videos yet. I think it's going to come.
I think you've got to, it's got to run parallel to the brand. I mean, I don't mind having, I'll just call them unpolished videos. Those could sell. Absolutely. If you have more of a person using the product or showing the product, I've seen videos like that work. Sometimes the highly polished videos suck. They don't work.
I've seen that.
Yeah, they just don't work. And then in between, like you said, with the call outs on it, those could be fine. You could self-produce those. You don't have to go expensive. But for me personally, if I've got a budget, I'd rather go to a production team that'll do it, know how to do it, bring out the best qualities in my brand. And typically they don't have to be that expensive. So even if you don't launch it right at the very beginning, once you start to get some profit, I think you probably would get more sales if you went that route.
We just had a question. I want to
Yeah. Oh, we got a lot of questions.
If you have a product that needs to be assembled, do you think that you should have a video that fast forwards through the assembly? That is a very, very good, a very important question. Not every product needs assembly. When it needs assembly, I find that it's probably better to touch on it, like you're saying. Don't make the whole video about how to assemble. I find that you can take, and I'm sure anybody who looks through Amazon listings has seen this type of an image where you have an image that shows like a collage, and you have one corner that it says 1, 2, 3, 4, and that acts as an assembly. Or even you can have 5 or 6 steps, whatever it is. Or even if you have to use 2 images with assembly, that the assembly questions, the assembly instructions is something that everyone who buys the product needs to assemble it. So if any, like, and it comes down to the product, not everything needs assembly. So if you don't need assembly, you're not going to need to put that in the images or the video. But when you have that, I think you need to put it in both places. I think you have to run through it quickly in the video, because you're not really trying. I mean, there are people who make assembly videos, and I think that those are great. And that's a standalone assembly video. You can also just do a nice video showing who you are, and then put a related video for assembly. You can always link a YouTube. You can do your own how to assemble YouTube video and put it as a related video. That works. Amazon Live. But I think that the images, because of that whole, the mobile shopper looking through the images, me personally, and anybody else listening, Norm, please give me your opinion. We all shop on Amazon. I mean, I look at the images. I don't even look at the bullets and the features anymore. I don't do it. I look at the images, and if there's a video, if I'm on the go, I won't watch the video because I'm not going to hear it and I'm not going to watch it properly. The images are an easy, quick way to just scroll through what the product is. And I think that when you come back to it, when you want to build, when you have furniture you got to build, there's the guys that like the videos, and there's guys that just want to read an instruction page. Use one of the images to just take a picture of your instructions. If it comes with put that up on the image, or make a better, nicely designed version of the instructions of the assembly. So to answer your question, I think that you should probably put it in both. You should probably kind of speed through it, or maybe even I forgot what it's called when you video something and you speed it up, time lapse. So you can like time lapse the assembly and like really get through it quickly. You definitely want to have some sort of a call out to your branding. You want to have a call out to the features of the product. I think that if you're making a video, you want to make sure to explain why they should buy it, not just how to use it. That's important, but you want to tell them why, and that's going to come in even more so with advertising, because when you have somebody searching, and I love the way the videos just pop up and start playing, and I just think it's important to catch your customer's attention. Sometimes you have somebody looking for a product and he doesn't know whether he wants to buy it. He's not at assembly yet. He doesn't know. He's not ready. He doesn't care about assembly until he has the item in his house. Yeah. So I think that you have to touch on the assembly because it's important, but for the most part, you're going to want to, go through that quickly and then get to the why you should buy it. Sorry for the long answer to that.
No, I've got 2 points on this as well. So the other thing that you can do, which is kind of cool, under your related videos, have a series of videos, and you can have like benefit 1, benefit 2, how to do this, how to do that. And you take up that whole section and you use your thumbnails. So you create these custom thumbnails so it actually looks pretty cool when somebody scrolls down and they see a series of what looks like tutorials. And one of those videos is your instruction video. So you can put it together there, and you can do this like all in one shoot basically. And you just take it and, just edit it. But that's one way. The other way The other way, this is 2021, use your managed product documents. You can upload instruction manuals, FAQs, troubleshooting guides, all on your product listing as of 2 weeks ago. And that is cool.
I did not know that, and we
used
have
to have
not done that.
you know, and like prior to this, it was kind of it was interesting because Amazon was almost making us break TOS because, you know, people were having problems. The customer experience was sucking because somebody didn't know how to put together this garden gnome. It came, you know, in 5 different pieces. But, you know, were you able to send out the PDF? Were you not able to send out the PDF? Could I link it to something? People would always be, a lot of people were questioning. Well, guess what? Now it's simple. Amazon is going, you go and if you don't know how to do this, Seller Central, go into inventory, scroll down to the very bottom, and it'll say manage product documents. Click on that. It'll give you the drop down of the type of product documents you want, anything under 10 meg. And if they're PDFs, you can upload anything, basically anything. It's really, really cool.
Okay. Yeah. I also want to talk about, I guess, I mentioned image optimization is not something that you just set and forget. You constantly have to revisit it, fine tune it, fix it, change it. You know, it's not news that you're supposed to try to answer. You have a negative feedback, try to answer that. You know, someone is expecting something, try to manage that expectation with the listing, and prevent at least another person from buying it with false expectations.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point. You know, if somebody's complaining, well, address it.
Yeah.
You know, and people don't do that. They just, you know, say they have a bad review and, oh, here's a full refund, but address the issue.
So that's all. That's an auto.
Great.
Yeah, that's an auto refund. Make sure the customer's happy. You don't want to deal with the repercussions of not doing that.
Yeah.
But I think more important than that is, you know, everyone had, like, up until I forgot how long ago it was, you would respond to the customer. You know, to the you're not allowed to do that anymore, and you can't kind of make it right. You can't, like, you know, in the past, I would say a negative review could be a stepping stone to the best thing in the world. You could take, somebody could say, oh, I received this product and it stopped working after a month. And you could say, we're terribly sorry about that. We're happy to give you a new one. And now someone says, oh, wow, if this breaks on me, they'll give me a new one. So you just turned, hey, it broke after a month, into they have great customer service. That's something you can't do anymore. So the best way to do that now is to just take that and spill it over into the images, and at least try to prevent another customer from buying it, expecting something, and not getting that. You know, let's say the size of the product. Somebody could leave a review and say, I was expecting this to be bigger. If you don't have it, there's tons of images like this where you just have the product and you line up a line and you show how big the product, how big it is. So now, or you could line it up next to another item that the person had, that everyone has in their everyday life, to help them understand the proximity of how big this item would be, or how it would look on a countertop or something like that. So that's like a perfect example of the customer could leave a comment and say, hey, I was expecting the images made it look so much bigger. Okay, go to your images and make sure it looks the right way now. So where maybe some other practices are gone, there's always a way to kind of turn that negative feedback into a positive. Not as easy as responding and saying, hey, we'll take care of it, we'll make sure to do you right, but more about just making sure that the next customer, even if he sees, if anything, like, let's just say you have a customer who says a comment and says, I was expecting this to be 6 inches. And then you have in the comment, in the images, it says 4 inches. Somebody who saw the image that said it was 4 inches and then sees a comment that says, I was expecting it to be 6. They'll almost say, well, why don't you look at the image and see that it would, like, they clearly did their due diligence and showed. And you might even think, like, wow, that guy's just crazy, because everyone knows there's some very mean reviewers out there. So you might just chalk it up to a mean reviewer, especially if they're doing the justice and explaining what that question might be, or addressing that point in the images. So kind of just do whatever you can, wherever you can put those answers, and you have so many different places to showcase your product, and the best way to do that is to constantly be in tune to it, review it every 3 months. Obviously you don't want to just make changes recklessly. That's never gonna end up well. Soft blocks and all that. But if you have something that makes sense, if you have something that's going to help the consumer understand what your product is, it makes sense to adjust it. It makes sense to change it and upgrade it and update it. So yeah, I mean, that was just another point that I thought of. So I definitely would love to. I think I saw another question about the 5665 code, but any other questions? I'm happy to answer any other questions.
Yeah, so it's top of the hour, but again, just for people to know, we're going to probably run a few minutes over here. But again, if you want those 7 optimized images, it's a giveaway that David is going to be providing. Just hashtag I love David, and if you tag 2 people, you get an extra entry. All right, so let's go into some of the questions, Kels.
Okay, so if you guys have touched on them already, just let me know and we can go to the next one. But the first one from Fatiha, what is your approach to branding, and do you offer services where we can work together and design a brand?
So branding is a different animal. We don't do any branding, but we do work with people who do branding. You need branding done before we can do our service. Obviously, we can still perform our service without branding. It'll be a little lighter. One of the first things we ask for is a Pantone color. If your brand has a logo and a Pantone color, we want to make sure that speaks in the images, that we put that, and we use everything we have. If you don't have it, we can make one up. We can still do something, but it's much better when you have the branding done. There's companies that specialize in that. That's not something we specialize in. So it's important. I would say that you again, I always take it back to, if I had a product, I would brand it before I did the design on Amazon. It's almost like in today's world, you got to do everything you can do to stand out and make a winning listing. And branding is literally step 1 of that. I typically jump over that because it's not something we facilitate, but like I said, we have people that we work with that do a wonderful job. I even have people who paid someone to brand, and then they paid someone again to brand, and you can see like a world of a difference. And I think there's like a saying: if you think that paying an expert is expensive, wait till you pay an amateur. Like if you want to do something, you got to do it right. And there's definitely people out there who do it right. So you want to try to find the right person. If you're looking for someone, I'm happy to make an introduction. I think there's a lot of good options out there as far as like designing a brand and building a brand, and creating that we could work with ultimately.
Okay, great. From Dr. Kaz, hey David, there's a debate on packing bullets for keywords. What is your take, long or short?
So we kind of addressed that. I would agree with Norm and say that I'm not sure how long ago this happened, but short is maybe a year ago, if I'm remembering correctly. Short is definitely the way to go. You want to try to choose. I mean, obviously, if you're going long, you're going to say everything. You're going to, when you're making a short bullet, you're going to have to choose what you want to put in there. It's more putting a little more strategy behind it, and not just going crazy and saying everything there is to say. Choose what you're trying to, like, even with an image, I try to we're going to put text on some images. We're not putting a lot of text. I want the customer to be able to just read it and understand it quickly. 2, 3 words, 4, 5 words maximum. Try to keep it as simple and easy as possible in the bullets, as well as the images, as well as the enhanced brand content, all around. No attention span is not something that people like giving. So get it done in as quick as possible, and don't go low. I think that even if without Amazon's rules, I think that I always kind of felt that way, like short and sweet. Don't overdo it.
It's refreshing, actually. And some people are more analytical, but when you take a look at a lot of the competitors and you're searching on your mobile phone, and all of a sudden, you've got something that's let's say it's 150 characters. It's just refreshing rather than, all right, here's a novel. Okay, there's the next novel. It's who wants to read it and who does?
Yeah.
Okay. Dayon, hi David. Have you experienced losing ranking after adding EBC? I have a listing that is a bestseller and killing it. I want to add EBC, but I'm afraid to mess with the algorithm. What is your opinion?
Never have I seen EBC added and the listing
Unless
suffer.
it's bad EBC. If your EBC sucks.
Okay, good point.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that we do good work. So I think that I mean this is something I get asked a lot.
Yeah.
I have seen EBC increase the conversion rate. The same thing goes with a storefront. A lot of people ask the same question: does a storefront help? Does it hurt? I've only seen it help. I think it goes without saying, you got to make sure to do it right.
Yeah.
If you're not doing it right, then you could be losing the customer's interest. But as long as you're doing justice to your product, I'm not worried about the same thing cannot be said about the bullets. I have seen somebody upgrade their bullets and the listing suffered because of it. And that shouldn't be that way, but it is. I would think twice before I touch the product description, the bullets, even the title. I would think twice, maybe 3 times. If it's working, usually I don't mess with it. So I might have someone that tells me, hey, my content's not that great, but it's doing well. And I'm going to say, I don't want to touch that. I don't want to mess with something that's doing good.
Yeah.
So as far as content goes, yes, don't touch it. As far as enhanced brand content goes, I have not seen any repercussions for adding EBC.
Yeah. And just to add on, don't write a book. With A+, I've seen people it's just kind of a carryover to their A+, and it's a book. Nobody's going to read it. People want to know why it's, what are the benefits? What are the features? What are the ingredients? Kind of how to use it. Maybe there's so many things that you can do with just simple bullet points, one sentence, 2 sentences maximum. It's not, you don't have to max it out. 100% agree with what you're saying too about, if you're playing with the others, you have to monitor. And that's why we tell people if you're changing things at all, if you're changing your title, bullets, any of that, we put a note in our Helium 10 account. So, people can put it in a spreadsheet, but Helium 10 has notes, and we'll put it in there so we can track, the dates and when we change it, just in case we see the keywords drop or go up.
Yep.
Okay. Next question. Let me see who this is from. This is from Clive. Can you confirm ideal number of characters in title, bullets, and description? Apologies, I missed the start of the show. And how should the title be written? What style? And if possible, can you show a good example of a good title and bullet? Thanks.
That's a whole other podcast, Clive.
Yeah.
but I can tell you in your category, so every category is different. You'll see anywhere from 50 characters and up. So you'll be, if you download your style guide, it'll tell you right there what your title is supposed to be. However, selling soap, do I have 50? Like it says 50 characters. 80. I have some that are 150. They're still indexing. And nobody, again, it goes back to nobody has 50 characters. Nobody in the niche, except if it's vendor central. And, we keep kind of playing around and breaking the rule. But until I see a suppression, then, I'm gonna play around with that. Now, as for everything else, Clive, we'll do a podcast on that because that is a fairly lengthy answer.
All right. Yeah. And we just have a couple more questions.
Sure.
All right. This is from Hasnat. How do you make a buyer persona? What data points do you include? How do you gather that data? How do you use a buyer persona?
So we have, I think it's called a customer demographic that we ask the clients to fill out. So we have like a form that just asks who's buying this product and just like a bunch of questions. I can share my I think it's on my website, Amazon Xperts, but you can see the form and you'll see all the questions that we ask. It's definitely, that's our version of it. There could be other people who do different or better, or but that's, we asked like I think 5 or 6 questions, and then we give it to the designers, and we go from there. But definitely important. You need to know who your shoppers will be before I'm saying, that's actually a good point. You need to know the features of the product, and then I might have skipped over this. You need to know who your customer is as well. That's something we use as well. I probably could have mentioned that. So yes, thank you for bringing that up.
Well, the other thing too, if you want, go back and listen to a podcast we did about 2 weeks ago, where Rand Fishkin, from the co-owner of Moz, he's got a new company, and he goes into talking about some persona and how some people overkill it. So, it's a really great session with him. And also, he's got an app called Spark Toro. Check it out. We were talking about it for, probably 2 podcasts after it, because it's such a fantastic looking app. And it breaks down your demographic. It breaks down who your people are following, who they are following.
I'm going to go check it out. You sold me on that one.
Yeah, so. It's great. And you know what? If Rand is behind it, I'm sold. That's all I have to hear.
Okay, I'm going to check it out. So
yeah,
you got one more listener.
Or Spark Toro, Toro. All right, next question.
Okay, so we have 2 more, and we'll cap it at that for this episode. This is from Mark. In your experience, have you found that keywords used in EBC file fields are indexed?
That's a good question. I'm not gonna. I want to say no, but I'm not gonna say that I know for sure. I'm gonna revert that to you, Norm. Do you feel that the EBC keywords are indexed?
I would have agreed up until about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, where I was talking to a guy that was playing around with A+, and they were putting in different keywords trying to get indexed. And he said, excuse me, he said that the only place he put it was on A+, and he was starting to get indexed. That's the first time I've ever heard that. Most of the time I've heard that A+ pages are not indexed.
I don't think I've seen proof to say that it is.
Yeah.
So, I'll be very happy if it is. So I'm hoping that that's right, and I'm definitely going to be paying attention a little more to that. I want to try to see if that's true. Then we have a lot more to work with, and another benefit for brand registry. So definitely.
All right, Kels.
Okay, and our last question for today. Before we get to this, if you haven't, please hit those like buttons. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube.
If you don't, Kelsey will lose his job.
That's right. I'm gone after this. So please hit those buttons. But yeah, from Daniel, how much cost does Amazon Xperts listing creation? What is the cost of Amazon listing creation?
So we charge $7.95 for an image optimization, and then that only includes 7 images. Basically, 1 variation is included, and for an additional variation, so if you have, for example, 4 colors of the product, it'll be $135 for each additional variation. So you're paying $7.95 for 7 images, and then $135 for each batch of additional 7 images. The reason why you're getting much cheaper on the variations, obviously, is because you're paying for the whole design and branding and creative process on the first one, and then on the second charge of just the variation, it's basically just applying that theme and that design to another product. But the difference is that sometimes you'll have the same images for all the colors. Obviously you can do that with us, but we always like to make the best possible listing, and we will always recommend to do, like, every color, every variation should have its own unique 7 images. We have found that specifically has helped the conversion rate go up, doing that extra step of creating 7 images for each variation. But that's that. And then as far as other services, we charge $4.95 for the copywriting and SEO, and we charge $4.95 for enhanced brand content, A+ content creation.
All right, very good. All right. So
I agree. I agree, Fatia. Kelsey is the best. Norm, you're also awesome. But I definitely agree to that one. I actually have a question, Norm. I'm not sure if we're running out of time, and maybe
no,
just
I'm good. I'm good
cut
if
this
you are.
short. It doesn't have anything to do with Amazon though, so I hope that's okay.
Oh no.
It has to do with beards.
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't think you talk enough about beards. I have a beard. You have a very, very good beard. I want to talk to you about your upkeep. Do you have any? I mean, I assume so. Like I like vibed with your podcast when you're the beard guy and I'm a beard enthusiast. Let's call it. So let's assume that there's other listeners who are beard enthusiasts. My question is, what do you do to keep it soft and keep it nice?
Well,
And
the most important part is don't cook over barbecues or gas stoves. You will burn it off, which I've experienced.
okay,
No, okay. So first of all, there is beard shampoo. Second of all, you can use beard balm,
Yep.
beard balm, or beard oil,
Yep.
and it makes it soft and succulent.
what about the leave-in conditioner? That's where I'm at.
Yeah. You could do that too. But yep, that's it. That's my
Okay.
beard maintenance. There you go.
A lot of people that I asked this question to, a lot of people are just like nothing, and they have nice beards. So
Yeah.
and then some people are all into it and they have a whole tutorial and step-by-step process. So okay, I had to ask that question.
Okay, so going back to you. So we're pretty much winding it up here. We're just going to get over the wheel of Kelsey in a second, but you've got something really cool. The eCommerce collaborative. That's what I was going to say, collective. Let's talk about that for a second, because you talked to me about it. I jumped on board because I thought it was such a really cool thing. Let's talk eCommerce
Yes.
collaborative.
So the ecom, I think we actually purchased the ecom collaborative domain name as well, but the official name is the ecom cooperative.
Sorry. Screw that up.
No problem. So yes, we're very happy to have you on board, as well as a bunch of other service providers. It's really simple. We're creating a community. We created a community for service providers, for e-commerce sellers, and the best way to start a community is by giving back. I don't think anybody could disagree with that one. So that's just what we're doing. We have I think almost 40 providers involved in this ecom cooperative, and every single solution provider is giving away a service. Yeah. The services amount to over $100,000. We're going to be, each service is going to be raffled away to one winner. There'll be a whole bunch of winners. There'll be a grand prize of like 5 services, a first prize of 3 services, a second prize of 2 services, and then a whole bunch of people who just win 1 service. Most of them are $1,500 of value or more. And I can share my screen and show you the people we have involved for a quick second, just to show you you can maybe pause the screen. I'm gonna just share it real quick just to show you guys. Yep. So this is the eCom Cooperative website, and you can obviously click on the entry form right here to sign up. And these are the brands that we have involved. Getita is a refund management software. Creative% does videos. Xelam does photography. Ranking with RankBell. AZ Seller Kit is a software. QuickBook integration with ConnectBooks. eCommerce is actually offering the image optimization. So there's other people that do it, not just me, and you can do it on Fiverr as well. So there's not only one option out there for everyone listening. Returns Worldwide is a reverse logistics company. Ping Pong Payments, Wildcarts, PPC. We have a few PPC providers because not everybody works with everyone. People have different billing methods and different things. We have inventory consultants, more PPC, more brand identity for that question before. We got this. This is the let's pause a little bit here. We got Lunch with Norm and PR Reach, Hone Worldwide, the chat agency. This is amazing. Centurion League, headshots with Zisha Golden. Purple Virtual is giving away some advertisements. We have Kabili & Co. with trademark, and law services, e-commerce diversification strategies, YLT, translations. We have 2 carriers. One's on the West Coast, one's on the East Coast. Accrue Me. This is
So the
social
list
media.
goes on and on.
The list goes on. We're done. Takeometrics, Global E-commerce, Empowery, Ben Leonard, and Thrasio.
Yeah.
That is the list. These are the people. Everyone is giving away services. But what this is more than the giveaway is a community where, if you saw on the screen, there was something that said Ecom Help Center. We actually rolled out something new. I haven't told you about this, Norm, yet. We wanted more free resources. So what the e-commerce help center is you need advice, you have questions, go to the Ecom Help Center, send an email to the help center and ask any question you have, and we'll try to help you and answer. But what this Ecom cooperative is just trying to be is somewhere where people can go. It's totally free, and it's somewhere where all these service providers are giving back to the sellers. And it's an amazing idea, and we're happy to be a part of it. And we're very, very excited for this. The drawing will be in exactly 1 month. How you like that? It's May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. So we'll be drawing all the winners in a live event. And yeah, I mean, like I said, free to sign up, kind of a no-brainer. You can opt out of the marketing email, so you don't even have to, there's literally nothing to lose. Obviously you can opt into the marketing emails. We can also opt out. So you can just sign up and have a chance to win a whole bunch of services, and then no strings attached.
Yeah, you should do it live on the podcast.
We should.
Yeah, right. All right. So thank you. And, that is a great, really great organization. So we're glad to be part of it. Anyway, let's get to the Wheel of Kelsey. This is over a $700 giveaway you're doing.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Kelsey, did you leave us?
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
All right.
All right. It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey. Here we go. We got lots of entries today. So I'll go and shuffle them all up. And let's do this. So
who is it going to be? I can't even read. I can't read a single person.
I know. Yeah, it's quite a few. All right. So I think this might be the most we've ever had so far.
Oh, okay.
But let's do it. 3, 2, 1.
Who won?
There we go. Clive,
man.
Okay.
All right. That was fantastic. Good. All right, sir. So Clive, what does Clive have to do to get the prize?
So it's very simple. We have on our website a form that you need to fill out, and you can either email me at David@Amazon Xperts, and we can. If you're not a form guy, we can do it over the phone as well. And basically, if you want to not talk to anybody, you just go to the website and fill out that information. And then we will be in touch with you on timeline. We typically take about 7 to 10 business days to turn this project around. And we use revisions as part of this. So we don't think that we're going to nail it on the first round. And we have a review with the winner and with the customer. And we make sure that the images, each of the images, are as best as they can be. And typically we try to give you the finished images within 2 weeks, let's say. So that's how we go about it. So you have 2 options. You can either email or you can go to the website and fill out the form and kind of get that process started right away.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show today, David.
Thank you for having me. Have a great rest of your Monday.
Yes, and you too. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show today. Who is coming up? Oh, it's going to be Tony Ivy. That's going to be on the next episode on Wednesday. She's the president of OmegaNet, and she's going to be talking about retail and wholesale, bricks and mortar.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a good episode.
Yeah.
All right. So we do have our big contest starting tomorrow. There's 2 contests. So one is up for an AirPod Pro that will be given away. And then the second will be some consultation prizes with me and Norm. So Make sure you are part of the Facebook group, because the consultation contests are only available in our Facebook group. Our group name is Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and eCommerce Collective. So highly recommend going over there. That's the only way to be a part of that contest. The AirPod one, everyone can kind of join, but specifically that one is limited to the contest, to the group. And let me see, what else do we have? Oh, we've got some news coming up down the chute, probably in the next week. We've got some big things planned, and yeah, so stick around for that. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
But the most important thing is smash those Kelsey, read my lips. Smash the likes.
Those likes.
Ring the
Yes,
bell.
that's right.
Subscribe.
You nailed it.
Anything
See?
like that? Am I doing that right?
That sounds
Okay, good.
fantastic.
Good. Just doing your job again.
Thanks.
All right. Just all right. And so remind everybody that Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time, we are going to be, I think we've never missed a date. I've been late, but we haven't missed a date yet. So thanks for watching, everybody. We enjoy you being part of the community, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Lunch with the